Hi there, Loy Machedo, speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? The question is, Loy, how do you help people get jobs in Dubai? Okay, how do I help people get jobs in Dubai? Now, the first thing I want you to understand is I'm not going to introduce people who are seeking for jobs. I get so many requests every single day, so many. And all of them say, Eloy, can you help me get a job? Please help me get a job. I don't have a supermarket filled with jobs that I can just pull and give it to you. That's number one. The second thing is, I am not going to introduce you to my contacts or to my connections just because you need a job. Every Tom, Dick and Harry says, Eloy, can you introduce me to your contacts? Can you introduce me to your friends and help me get a job? No, it doesn't work that way because I don't know you and I don't care about you. And I value my relationship with a contact or my connection. And number three is, nobody is going to guarantee you a job in exchange for cash. There are so many people, Loy, I'll pay you money. I'll pay you money, man. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, this is not like going to India where you want a stamp for your document. You give a little money and they'll stamp it. It doesn't work that way, man. It's purely based on competency, which you need to understand. All right. So if you are the right candidate, you will get the job, provided you approach it the right way. So now the question is, like, how do you help people get a job? I do it professionally. I don't do charity. The only charity that I do for free, remember, there's free and there is fee. Free is like these videos. I put up videos, I put up articles. I do that for free. Fee is when I charge people money and provide them a professional service. So how do I do that? Number one, I study the person. The first most important thing is study the person. That is why I have a video conversation with the person. I speak to the person. I analyze the person. I take down notes and I understand, okay, this is who the person is. This is how he is. That's first part. The second part is I study their current resume. So I compare, okay, this is your personality. This is what you've done. And majority of the cases, they create the resume by themselves or they copy the internet or they think I'll just put a few flashy words and try to bullshit my way. Okay, that's what they do. So I study the resume. I try to match the personality to the resume. Number three, what I do is then I study the job position. Now, obviously, what happens is you tend to have job positions where people, let's say, for example, a sales executive or, engineer, whatever. I study that job. They give you vague clues. They don't tell you everything. So what I do is if I have a contact or connection in the industry or in that company, I ask them what exactly are they looking for. And based on those clues, number one is the person. Number two is the resume. Number three is the job. I try to merge all three together and then I create a template for which I rebrand the resume. That's the next one, rebrand the resume because you can't use the same old stuff that is there. So I change that. The second part which I change is I tell the person what needs to be kept in mind, especially for the interview. So first part is rebranding the resume. The second part is preparing the guy for the interview. And the interview, when people go for the interview, they think, oh, Lord, if I just go to the interview, finish, I'll get the job. If you're so good at an interview, then you don't need the interview to help you get the job. You'll be offered the job anywhere and everywhere. When I used to go around and meet people, I didn't go to the interview to get the contract or the job. People looking at me, talking to me, I was so good at selling myself, people would just buy. So you might think your interview skills are great. You may think, because if your interview skills were so amazing, you would be offered a job left, right, and center, even without being called for a job interview. Okay. So second is I check the interview skills, and by interview skills, I analyze word for word, every single thing that they are saying word for word. And we create a structure. And the next process is memorizing what you have on the resume, what you're going to say, and how you're going to say it. Remember the how you're going to say it. And last, if not the least, is after all this is done, still there is no guarantee and assurance that you may get the job because there are so many factors. The budgets can be, have to be considered. You do not know who you're competing against. You do not know the personal preference of that guy. Maybe the guy just doesn't like you. Maybe the guy has someone else in mind. In most of the cases, they already have decided who they want. So they're not going to tell you all that. So the next step after that is where I coach them. We study each and every place where they're given the job, the letters that they've received, rejection or acceptance. We study in terms of the job offers that they get. We study, okay, you're going to apply here next. So we tend to have this coaching process, this relationship, which grows over the period of time. So that is how I help people get jobs in Dubai, UAE. There is nobody who's going to give you 100% assurance. There's nobody who's going to give you 100% guarantee. You can go to Naukri.com, gulfjobs.com, or any of these, companies where they will take money from you, actual copy paste a template and give you with flashy graphics and great colors and tell you, now you'll get a job because it's 86% better than the job market. You'll get jack shit. You'll get nothing. And then you'll realize, shit, I just wasted my money. So, and that is after that, people normally come to me and realize, okay, shit, I made a mistake. So that is how I help people get jobs. That is how I help people succeed. And that is how I help people, get to where they are. There are times where people do get offered a job with a particular salary and with the regular bullshit that they give them. I help them understand whether it's worth taking or not. Like one of the other clients that I had, she got paid 12,000, I think 800 or something, plus. And she asked me whether she should take the job or not. Given a profile, I said not to take it. Eventually, she happened to get the job, which matched her experience. It was 32 or 33, somewhere in that range. The reason for such a big discrepancy was because she was new in the country. She didn't know anything, and she thought that is what she had to take. So I told her, go back, don't accept the job, get another visit visa, come back, and that's where she got the right job. So what I'm trying to tell you is this is how I help people get jobs in Dubai. There's no shortcut process. There's no easy process. And if anybody tells you, sure, I'll help you get a job, or 86% your CV is going to be much better, that's all bullshit. If you don't remember, the purpose of a resume is to be called for an interview. The purpose of a resume is to be called for an interview. The purpose of the interview is for you to sell yourself. And by selling yourself, it doesn't come with cliche answers. What are your strengths? I'm hardworking, I'm focused. What are your weaknesses? I work so hard that I'll die in the office. There is much more than that. There's building rapport, there is connection, there is selling yourself through hidden ways and means, which takes experience. Remember that much. It's all about experience. It's positioning yourself and coming across as the candidate. So anyway, this is how I help people get jobs in Dubai, UAE. If you're not getting called for an interview at least once in 2 weeks, then something is really, really wrong with your resume. And if you don't get, if you keep getting rejected every interview, I mean, there's something wrong with your communication skills. So anyway, I wish you all the best. Keep searching online. Check for a lot of free material. Keep experimenting. But remember this, if you're wasting your time, you're wasting your career, to save pennies, you're spending in pounds, you're doing yourself a big disservice. So these are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Machedo.com is my email. Like the video, thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. This is me signing off for now. Take care.